Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 10. We are hearing the prayers that Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj offers to Lord Nrsingadev in Hari-Varsh. Magara Majavita Bandhushu
Magaradharatmajaveta-bandhushu
Sango Yadi Syad Bhagavad Priyeshuna
Sango yadi syat bhagavat priyeshuna
Yapran Vrittaya Paritushta Atmavan
ya prana vrittaya paritushta atmavan
Vidyati Aduran Natathendriya Priyaha.
siddhyati adurana tatendriya priya.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, we pray that we may never feel attraction for the prison of family life, consisting of home, wife, children, friends, bank balance, relatives, and so on. If we do have some attachment, let it be for devotees, whose only dear friend is Krishna, a person who's actually self-realized and who has controlled his mind is perfectly satisfied with the bare necessities of life. He does not try to gratify his senses. Such a person quickly advances in Krishna consciousness, whereas others who are too attached to material things find advancement very difficult. When Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was requested to explain the duty of a Vaishnava, a Krishna conscious person, he immediately said, Asat Sangat Yaga E Vaishnava Vachan. The first business of a Vaishnava is to give up the association of persons who are not devotees of Krishna and who are too attached to material things, wife, children, bank balance, and so on. Prahlad Maharaj also prays to the personality of Godhead that he may avoid the association of non-devotees attached to the materialistic way of life. If he must be attached to someone, he prays to be attached only to a devotee. So one may say, oh, how can I give up association of non-devotees? One may think, okay, well, I'm not a devotee, but yet I'm trying to become one, but how do I give up the association? Everyone around me, I have to do things, there's so many things to be done. Well, the idea is, we avoid to take instructions from them regarding spiritual matters. Get spiritual instructions from the devotee. Hear and chant in the association of devotees. That's how we associate with the devotees. And with the others, we deal with them as is necessary, as we are required to. And attachment. Attached, Prahlad Maharaj is here, he's saying, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, I want to be attached to the devotee. Lord Kapila Dev, when he was instructing to his mother Devahuti, we heard in third canto of Bhagavatam, he also told her that how to get attached to Krishna, get attached to the devotee. How to remove our attachment from the material world, become attached to the devotee. So what does it mean to get attached to the devotee? We need to hear from the devotee. Hearing from them. A devotee is not interested in unnecessarily increasing the demands of the senses for gratification. Of course, as long as one is in this material world, one must have a material body and it must be maintained for executing devotional service. The body can be maintained very easily by eating Krishna Prasad, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9:26. Patram pushpam phalam to yam yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti uparatam ashnami prayatatmana. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I will accept it. Why should the menu be unnecessarily increased for the satisfaction of the tongue? Devotees should eat as simply as possible. Otherwise, attachment for material things will gradually increase, and the senses, being very strong, will soon require more and more material enjoyment. Then the real business of life, to advance in Krishna consciousness, will stop. So the idea is whatever we eat, we offer to Krishna. Offer to Krishna, then we eat, it becomes spiritual food, helps us to get attached to Krishna, helps us to give up our attachment to the material things. So a devotee, of course, he understands that he is inside the body, so he does not neglect the body. He understands he needs the body to engage in devotional service, so he takes good care of the body in Krishna consciousness. Yatsangalabdam nijavirya-vaibhavam
Yatsangalaptam nijavirya-vaibhavam
tirthamuhusam prashatam himanasam
Tirtham muhusam sprishatam himanasam
artya jo anta shrutibhir gato nagajam
Arati ajo anta shrutibhir gato gajam
Povena sevitamukunda vikramam.
Ovena seveta mukunda vikramam.
By associating with persons for whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead Mukunda is the all-in-all, one can hear of his powerful activities and soon come to understand them. The activities of Mukunda are so potent that simply by hearing of them, one immediately associates with the Lord. For a person who constantly and very eagerly hears narrations of the Lord's powerful activities, the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, in the form of sound vibrations, enters within his heart and cleanses it of all contamination. On the other hand, although bathing in the Ganges diminishes bodily contaminations and infections, this process and the process of visiting holy places can cleanse the heart only after a long time. Therefore, who is the sane man who will not associate with devotees to quickly perfect his life? So bathing in the Ganges can certainly cure one of many infectious diseases, but it cannot cleanse one's materially attached mind, which creates all kinds of contaminations in material existence. However, one who directly associates with the Supreme Lord by hearing of his activities cleanses the dirt from his mind and very soon comes to Krishna consciousness. So here, the attachment to the devotee, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, being attached to the devotee and then hearing from the devotee. Hearing from the devotee, because by hearing about the Lord from the devotee, hearing the activities of the Lord. And what happens when one hears attentively, eagerly, submissively, then the Lord who is in the heart of the devotee, he cleanses the heart of all the material desires. Whereas here Prahlad Maharaj is saying that although bathing in the Ganges, going to the places of pilgrimage, they also help us to take away our sins, but that takes very, very long time to purify the heart, because the proclivity to sin is still there. the desire to sin. But when we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, the desire to sin goes away. Because Krishna is in the heart, he can take it away. So Sutta Goswami confirms this in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2.17. Shanvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridi Antastohi Abhadrani Vidhunoti Suhrit Satam. The Supreme Lord within everyone's heart becomes very pleased when a person hears narrations of his activities, and he personally cleanses the dirt from the mind of the listener. Hridi Antastohi Abhadrani Vidhunoti. He washes off all dirt from the mind. So when we are hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord, when we are chanting his glories, when we are chanting his names, then Krishna, who is in our heart, he himself cleans our heart. He's the Paramatma in our heart. This is what Sutta Goswami is also saying. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Sutta Goswami is saying. If one can cleanse, material existence is caused by dirty things within the mind. If one can cleanse his mind, he immediately comes to his original position of Krishna consciousness. And thus his life becomes successful. So, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Lord Chaitanya says, once you start chanting Hare Krishna, the first thing happens, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, that the dirt which is there on the mirror of the mind gets clean. So there are so many other processes, prayaschit, and there are so many different types of austerities people do, rites, rituals, difficult sacrifices, and those help, yeah. They help, but they don't help to the degree the chanting of the holy name helps. They don't take away the desire to sin. They can clean up sinful activities, but the desire to sin, that goes away easily by bhakti. So therefore, all the great saints in the devotional line very strongly recommend the process of hearing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra to give everyone a chance to hear Krishna's holy name. For simply by hearing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, one becomes purified. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Therefore, our Krishna consciousness movement is chiefly engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra all over the world. So anyone and everyone can take up the process. Because if one has to do difficult austerities, difficult, go climb mountains, difficult penances, or really control the mind by the Ashtanga process, not everyone can do that. Very, very few may be able to do that. But what about everyone then? How can everyone be delivered? By hearing, by chanting. After one's mind becomes cleansed, becomes cleansed by chanting Hare Krishna, one gradually comes to the platform of Krishna consciousness and then reads books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Caitaniya Caritamita, and the Nectar of Devotion. In this way, one becomes more and more purified of material contamination. So what happens is, as the heart is getting cleaned, then one gets more attracted to hearing about the Lord from the devotees, from scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Caitaniya Caritamita, Nectar of Devotion. One gets this great desire to hear. So then one gets more and more purified. As one hears more and more purification. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:18, Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtike. By regularly hearing the Bhagavatam and rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is practically destroyed. And loving service unto the glorious Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So Bhagavatam is saying this. Sutta Goswami is saying this in the Bhagavatam, that by hearing Bhagavatam regularly, by serving the devotee Bhagavat, all the material, the anarthas, those things which are troubling us, they go away. And one can revive one's love for God. In this way, simply by hearing of the powerful activities of the Lord, the devotee's heart becomes almost completely cleansed of material contamination, and thus his original position as an eternal servant, who is part and parcel of the Lord, becomes manifest. While the devotee engages in devotional service, the passionate and ignorant modes of material nature are gradually vanquished, and then he acts only in the mode of goodness. At that time, he becomes happy and gradually advances in Krishna consciousness. So how gradually, by hearing Bhagavatam, by serving the devotee, the heart gets cleaned of all the passion, the ignorance, the anger, the envy, and the devotee gets situated in the mode of goodness and continues to hear and chant, continues, and becomes happy. Gradually advances in Krishna consciousness, becomes happy. All the great acharyas strongly recommend that people be given a chance to hear about the Supreme Lord. Then success is assured. So bhakti begins by hearing, Shravanam. The more we cleanse the dirt of material attachment from our hearts, the more we will be attracted by Krishna's name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and activities. This is the sum and substance of the Krishna consciousness movement. So we ourselves should try to hear from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, from the devotees, and encourage others to hear, so that everyone can become peaceful, everyone can become happy. Anyone wanted to add anything? Comments?
I like the part where it said that when we hear Bhagavatam, Krishna is pleased with us, and he will clean our heart. He will do that part for us, which is so nice.
I know, right? When I first heard this, I was like, oh my God, who's the servant then? That's what struck to me, that when we make something dirty and then we tell the servant, okay, you clean it. So here we put dirt in our heart and then we are telling Krishna, okay, now you clean it,
Yeah. So it's like so nice, just by listening to Bhagavatam from a pure devotee or from, how we are listening, it's getting cleansed. The Krishna is pleased with us.
Yeah. Yes, Krishna is pleased.
Yeah, the Supreme Lord within everyone, it becomes very pleased when a person hears narrations of his activities. And he personally cleanses the dirt. See that part?
Yeah. So it's not very difficult to please the Lord, no? We simply have to hear.
Yes.
Because we may think, oh my God, I don't know what I have to do. Maybe I have to create a kingdom, or I have to climb a mountain, or I have to do some difficult fasting, or I have to do some difficult penance. But no, yeah, so nice. Thank you for pointing it out, And just by hearing from Bhagavatam, we can please Krishna.
And
I'm sorry?
automatically, then the attachment comes, no? So like, with his form, with his name, because he's cleaning it, and that thing will come, the attachment will automatically come within, right?
Yeah. Because the more the heart gets cleaned, the more we will be able to see him.
Yes.
Yeah. Like our consciousness gets cleaned, then we will be able to see him, get more attached to him. Yes. Thank you.
And also there was a thing like Dada, I was just listening to his video, his lecture, and he said that yes, like, the heart, within the heart, the Lord is there. So your attachment has to be with the Lord. But of course, now we are here in this material world. We have our family, our children. So you can just show outwardly that you love your kids a lot, you care for your husband so much, but inwardly within that your attachment has to be with Krishna. So
Krishna.
because if we are going to tell our kids that no, now I'm this thing, they say you're gone mad, you go
Of
crazy.
course. I can't do that.
That's
Yeah, it's true.
now my thing is, I'm just doing my duty, but I'm not. I don't really, I love only Krishna. I feel that like once I told my kids, and they say you become mad, you are like oh, so you become more. Just don't care now. Okay, okay, Mama, you don't care for me. You don't
Yeah,
love
we can't.
us. Yeah, we can't do that also, we can't tell them. So we say, yeah, I love you. But within we know that who's very dear to us, right?
Yeah, very nice what Dada said. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Yeah, very nice. So reminds me of one incident. Lord Chaitanya, he was telling to Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami, he was son of a very rich man, no? But he wanted to go to Lord Chaitanya, and they got him married, and he was so rich. So every time he would run away, then they would catch him, bring him back to his family. He would run away, bring him back to his family. So then he told Lord Chaitanya, what do I do? He said that just as, if when a married woman, if she has a lover, then she'll do her duties very nicely so that the husband does not have any suspicion, but inside her heart, she's thinking of her paramour. So you do your duty in this way, he told. Lord Chaitanya tells Raghunath that you do your whatever family duties you have, keeping your mind on Krishna.
Yes. They say like you
So,
have to show family that yes, you love them a lot.
yeah,
But
yeah,
we know that who is, our ultimate. Yeah.
yeah, very nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Keep the peace and keep the peace with everyone also, no? Yeah. Thank you. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana
Yasya Sri Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana
sarver gunestatra samasate suraha
Sarve Gunestatra Samasate Sura
arava bhaktasya kuto mahaguna
Arav Abhaktasya Kuto Mahadguna
manorathena stidhavato bahi.
Manoratena Sati Dhavato Bahi.
All the demigods and the exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and he must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? So I think this is Sukadev Goswami is saying this. No, because he started off saying that the two prayers of Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Nrsimhadev, and then now it is Sukadev Goswami who's speaking to Maharaj Parikshit.
Yeah. Even I was thinking, is
It's
it
like that, no? Because we heard that you heard the Sukadev Goswami continued that this is Lord Nrsimha's prayer by Prahlad Maharaj. And this was also Prahlad Maharaj's prayer.
Right.
And then, so I'm not sure, is it continuing Prahlad Maharaj's prayers here, my dear Lord, we pray? Or is it Sukadev Goswami now speaking of his own, by his own realization? So anyway, let's read on and we will see. As explained in the next verse, Krishna is the original source of all living entities. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15.7, wherein Krishna says, Mamavamsa jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is very clearly telling us about our relationship with him. He's saying every soul, every living entity, they are my part and parcel, mamaivam sajiva loki. And eternally, jiva bhuta sanatana. Not that they are part and parcel of mine only till they're in the material world and that they are going to become me after liberation. No, eternally we are part and parcel of Krishna. So, and therefore, when they revive their original Krishna consciousness, they possess all the good qualities of Krishna in small quantity. So because part and parcel have to have the same quality then, but quantity is different. When one engages himself in the 9 processes of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanavedanam, one's heart becomes purified and he immediately understands his relationship with Krishna. He then revives his original quality of Krishna consciousness. So we can see by hearing, we begin bhakti by hearing, chanting, then comes remembering. We can revive our relationship because the heart becomes clean. When the heart is clean, consciousness is clean, and then we can understand spiritual subject matter. We can understand God. In the Adi Leela of Caitaniya Caritamita, chapter 8, there is a description of some of the qualities of devotees. For example, Sri Pandit Haridas is described as being very well behaved, tolerant, peaceful, magnanimous, and grave. In addition, he spoke very sweetly. His endeavors were very pleasing. And he was always patient. He respected everyone. He always worked for everyone's benefit. His mind was free of duplicity, and he was completely devoid of all malicious activities. But these are great qualities. Well-behaved, tolerant, peaceful, magnanimous, grave, sweet, speaking sweetly, pleasing endeavors, patient, always respected, always working for everyone's benefit, no duplicity, completely honest. So these are all originally qualities of Krishna. And when one becomes a devotee, they automatically become manifest. Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj, the author of Caitanya Caritamita, says that all good qualities become manifest in the body of a Vaishnava, and that only by the presence of these good qualities can one distinguish a Vaishnava from a non-Vaishnava. Krishna Das Kaviraj lists the following 26 good qualities of a Vaishnava. He is very kind to everyone. He does not make anyone his enemy. He is truthful. He is equal to everyone. No one can find any fault in him. He is magnanimous. He is mild. He is always clean. He is without possessions. He works for everyone's benefit. He is very peaceful. He is always surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desires. He's very meek. He's steady. He controls his senses. He does not eat more than required. He is not influenced by the Lord's illusory energy. He offers respect to everyone. He does not desire any respect for himself. He's very grave. He's merciful. He's friendly. He's poetic. He's expert. He's silent. So these are the qualities of a pure devotee. And these qualities are very attractive. One likes to be around such a person. So this is the Vaishnava. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying anyone who becomes a devotee, automatically he develops the good qualities. One does not have to separately endeavor to cultivate any kind of a good quality. One endeavor continues to hear and chant, but of course we have to become self-aware, not that we, that we have to understand how we are acting and how we are affecting others. But this we are talking about is the pure devotee, one who is already on the purified stage. Harir hi sakshat Bhagavan sharirinam.
Harir hi sakshat Bhagavan sharirinam.
Atmaja sanam ivato yam ipsitam.
Atma jashanam ivatoyam ipsitam.
Hitva mahamstam yadi sajjate krihe.
Hitva mahamstam yadi sajjate grihe.
Tada mahatvam vayasa dampatinam.
Tada mahatvam vayasa dampatinam.
Just as aquatics always desire to remain in the vast mass of water, all conditioned living entities naturally desire to remain in the vast existence of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, if someone very great by material calculations fails to take shelter of the Supreme Soul, but instead becomes attached to material household life, his greatness is like that of a young low-class couple. One who is too attached to material life loses all good spiritual qualities. All the crocodiles are very fierce animals. They are powerless when they venture out of the water onto land. When they are out of the water, they cannot exhibit their original power. Similarly, the all-pervading Supersoul Paramatma is the source of all living entities, and all living entities are part and parcel of Him. When the living entity remains in contact with the all-pervading Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead, he manifests his spiritual power exactly as the crocodile exhibits his strength in the water. So in other words, the greatness of the living entity can be perceived when he is in the spiritual world, engaged in spiritual activities. Prabhupada is explaining a crocodile, very powerful in water, but when they come out on land, they lose their power. So similarly, we spirit souls, we have great spiritual potency. But now, because we are here in the material world, we are covered by this material body. But when we again revive our Krishna consciousness, when we again, contact with the Supreme Lord, then the greatness of the living entity can be perceived. Many householders, although well educated in the knowledge of the Vedas, become attached to family life. They are compared herein to crocodiles out of water, for they're devoid of all spiritual strength. Their greatness is like that of a young husband and wife who, though uneducated, praise one another and become attracted to their own temporary beauty. This kind of greatness is appreciated only by low-class men with no qualifications. So someone who is Prabhupada is he's explaining to us that he has knowledge, someone who he may be having knowledge of the Vedas, but he's still attached to family life. Means he's not actually understood the essence of the Vedas. He's not realized the Vedic knowledge, because when one hears more and more, automatically the material desires are vanquished. As we just spoke, that Krishna within the heart, he himself takes away the material desires. Everyone should therefore seek the shelter of the Supreme Soul, the source of all living entities. No one should waste his time in the so-called happiness of materialistic household life. In the Vedic civilization, this type of triple life is allowed only until one's 50th year, when one must give up family life and enter either the order of Vanaprasth, independent retired life for cultivation of spiritual knowledge, or sannyas, the renounced order, in which one completely takes shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in the Varna Sharma system, Krishna's created it in such a way that one remains in family life for 50 years, and then after that, one Vanaprasth, well, now we can't go to the forest. We're not accustomed to it. But the idea is to take up more and more hearing and chanting, gradually reduce our involvement in the material affairs. So engage more in hearing, chanting, getting attached to the Lord. Tasmat rajuraga vishadamanyu.
Tasmat rajoraga vishadamanyu.
Manas prihabhayaden yadhimulam.
Manas virhabha yadenyadimulam.
Yatvagraham samsriti chakravalam.
Hitva griham sam shriti chakravalam.
Nishim papadam bhajata kutobhyam iti.
Nirshimha padam bhajata kuto bhayam iti.
Therefore, O demons, give up the so-called happiness of family life and simply take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimhadev, which are the actual shelter of fearlessness. Entanglement in family life is the root cause of material attachment, indefatigable desires, moroseness, anger, despair, fear, and the desire for false prestige, all of which result in the repetition of birth and death. So still, Sukadev Goswami has been saying the prayers recited by Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Nrsimhadev. So he's instructing his friends, his demon friends. He's saying, take shelter of Lord Nrsimhadev, actual shelter of fearlessness. So then one may already be in family life. We stay where we are, hear and continue to hear and chant. That's what Lord Chaitanya said, hear and chant. Ketumalepi Bhagavan Kamadeva Swarupena Lakshmiya Priya.
Ketumalepi Bhagavan Kamadeva Swarupena Lakshmiya Priya.
Chikirshaya Prajapate Hitranam Putranam Tadvarshapatinam.
Chikishaya Prajapate Duhitrinam Putranam Tadvarsha Patinam.
Purusha Yusahoratra Parisankhyananam Yasam Garbha Maha.
Purusha Shayushaho Ratra Parikshang Nam Yasham Garba Maha.
Purusha Mahastra Tejasodvejita Manasam Vidvasta Vyasavaha Samvatsarante Vinipatante.
Purusha Mahashastra Tejaso Dvejita Manasa Vidvasta Vyasava Samvatsarante Vinipatanti.
Sukadev Goswami continued, in the tract of land called Ketumalvarsh, Lord Vishnu lives in the form of Kamadev, only for the satisfaction of his devotees. These include Lakshmi Ji, the goddess of fortune, the Prajapati, Samvatsar, and all of Samvatsar's sons and daughters. The daughters of Prajapati are considered the controlling deities of the nights, and his sons are considered the controllers of the days. The Prajapati's offspring number 36,000, one for each day and each night in the lifetime of a human being. At the end of each year, the Prajapati's daughters become very agitated upon seeing the extremely effulgent disk of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus they all suffer miscarriages. This Kamdev, who appears as Krishna's son named Pradyumna, is Vishnu Tattva. How this is so explained by Madhvacharya, who quotes from the Brahmanda Puran, Kamdev Sthitam Vishnu Upasate. Although this Kamdev is Vishnu Tattva, his body is not spiritual but material. Lord Vishnu, as Pradyumna or Kamdev, accepts a material body, but he still acts spiritually. It does not make any difference whether he accepts a spiritual or a material body. He can act spiritually in any condition of existence. Mayavadi philosophers regard even Lord Krishna's body as material, but their opinions cannot impede the spiritual activity of the Lord. So here we are trying to understand that this Kamdev appears as Krishna's son named Pradyumna. So it's Pradyumna, but for some reason, Pradyumna in this form as Kamdev is taking a material body, is Vishnu Tattva, but he's taking a material body, but his activities are spiritual, very inconceivable, but we just accept as we are reading. And we are understanding that the Prajapati Samvatsar is worshipping this form of Kamdev in Ketumalvarsh. He has 36,000 children. Half of them are sons, half of them are daughters. Daughters are controlling the nights, the sons are controlling the days. Yeah. And then at the end of each year, the Prajapati's daughter become very agitated upon seeing the extremely effulgent disk. So the chakra, they somehow makes them lose their children. Yeah.
Not understand, not very clear. I didn't understand. Yes.
Yeah, me neither. I'm trying to.
And this is the first expansion, right, of Krishna's as Pradyumna, who is having a material body. Otherwise, all other we hear, right? It's transcendental body. Right?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what this is the first time I'm also hearing that he has this material body as Kamdev. Of course, the universal form we hear that is materials, but again, that's different. I mean, yeah.
So who is
Can't understand it very well. I'm sorry.
Prajapati Samvatsara? Who is Prajapati Samvatsara?
I think he is the ruler of this. Ketumal Varsh.
Ketumala Varsh. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, and even Lakshmi Devi is here on this
Yeah.
island. Yeah.
Right.
Lakshmi Devi is also on this island. Yeah, it's not very
Because
clear to me.
Kamdev means is known as Lord of Sex or something, right? Kamdev.
Lust, yeah.
Lust, yeah.
Lust, right? Cupid. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, not very clear to me too. Okay, we'll just go on to the next one.
Yes.
Ativa Sulatlita Gati Vilasa Vilasita Ruchi Rahasa Le Shavaloka Laya.
Ativa Sulalita Gati Vilasa Vilasita Ruchira Hasa Leshavaloka Leelaya.
Kinchit Utambhita Sundar Bru Mandal Subhaga.
Kinchit Utambita Sundara Bru Mandala Subhaga.
Vadanaravinda Shriya Ramam Ramayan Indriyani Ramyate.
Vadanaravinda Shriya Ramam Ramayan Indriyani Ramayate.
In Ketumal Varsh, Lord Kamdev Pradyumna moves very graciously. His mild smile is very beautiful. And when he increases the beauty of his face by slightly raising his eyebrows and glancing playfully, he pleases the goddess of fortune. Thus, he enjoys his transcendental senses. Tad Bhagavato Mayamayam Rupam Param Samadhi Yogena Rama.
Tat Bhagavato Mayamayam Rupam Paramasamudhi Yogena Rama.
Devi Samvatsarasya Ratrishu Prajapate Dohitribhir Upeta Hahasucha.
Devi Samvatsarasya Ratrishu Prajapate Duhitribir Upeta Hasasucha.
Tad Pratarbhir Upaste Idam Choda Harti.
Tad Bharti Bir Upaste Idam Chodaharati.
Accompanied during the daytime by the sons of the Prajapati, the predominating deities of the days, and accompanied at night by his daughters, the deities of the nights, Lakshmi Devi worships the Lord during the period known as the Samvatsar in his most merciful form as Kamdev. Fully absorbed in devotional service, she chants the following mantras. The word Maya Mayam used in this verse should not be understood according to the interpretations of the Mayavadis. Maya means affection as well as illusion. When a mother deals with her child affectionately, she is called Maya Maya. In whatever form the Supreme Lord Vishnu appears, he is always affectionate toward his devotees. Thus, the word Maya Mayam is used here to mean very affectionate toward the devotees. Srila Jiva Goswami writes in this regard that Maya Mayam can also mean Kripa Prachuram, deeply merciful. Similarly, Srila Veera Raghav says, Maya Prachuranatmiya Sankalpena Parigrihitam Iti Artha Jnana Paryayo Tra Maya Shabda. When one is very affectionate, due to an intimate relationship, one is described as Maya Maya. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains Maya Mayam by dividing it into the words Maya and Amayam. Amyam. He explains these words to indicate that because the living entity is covered by the disease of illusion, the Lord is always eager to deliver his devotee from the clutches of Maya and cure him of the disease caused by the illusory energy. See, for Krishna, like for a father, he always has this um, attachment. It's just natural. There's a natural affection for his children. So everyone is Krishna's child, whether they be in the material world or spiritual world. So Krishna has a natural affection for everyone, and he wants everyone to be happy, and he wants everyone to come to the spiritual world. So this is at least that's what I understand. Then he's seeing that, oh, my children are suffering here because they've forgotten their true identity. So he's always eager to bring the conditioned souls like us back to the spiritual world. And that's the reason he keeps speaking Bhagavad Gita. He's left behind his pastimes in Bhagavatam for our benefit. So he's very affectionate. Just like we don't make any difference for our body part. We don't say, oh, I don't like my legs, I like only my hands. Or I don't like my, like we are equally affectionate to all our body parts. Well, we may say, oh, I don't like the way for example, my nose looks or my eye looks, but we are equally affectionate to each of our body part. We're not going to harm any one of our body part. Similarly, we are all parts of Krishna. So he is equally affectionate to all of us, and he wants all of us to come back home, back to Godhead. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to add anything more?
So that means Maya means is, what does it exactly what it means? That means getting out of the illusion and having.
So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that the Lord is very affectionate, very kind to us. He wants us to come out of this illusion. This is what this Maya, Amayam means. Because there's this intimate relationship. So there's that intimate affection for the living entity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like very affection, just as, a father will have very affectionate to his children, like that. Deeply affectionate. The mother has the affection for her baby.
Right.
So Krishna, out of his affection, he wants us to get out of this material world. This is how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining Maya Mayam. So
okay, so in this,
here.
the Lord is eager to deliver his devotee, to take up.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So that's what it means. Mayam means Krishna is like eager to deliver his devotees, right, from the clutches of Maya.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Because he has this we are, after all, we are his parts and parcels, so he does has affection for us. So because of that, he wants us.
Yeah, so that means it means Krishna is Mayamayam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it has nothing to do like with us, but that it means Krishna is Mayam because he wants to take us out from this disease of illusion.
That's right.
Oh,
out of his affection for us.
Yes, okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for hearing and joining in. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.